Hey, my name is Violet Price, and I'm doing little 5 to 10 minute videos on the filmmaking process, the way I do it, which is like super low budget. Although it's not even low budget the way other people do low budget, I've always been sort of doing like guerrilla, like music videos with your friends sort of projects, and I've sort of developed a language and a way I do it that I don't know. I don't know people who do it like me. I don't know why they couldn't, because to me it seems like very natural and obvious. Like you just sort of find your friends who are cool and make projects around what's cool about them or what skills they have. But I don't know anyone else who does that, so let me talk about it. Actually, today I wanted to talk about just how good my movie is. I know it's like a dorky, braggy thing, but like I feel like I earned it just because, I don't know, hear me out. Like I've been making shit my whole life, and like every time you're doing a project, you're convinced this is the one. This is like the brilliant moment where everything you've been working on comes together. And then sometimes it's not. Like a few years ago, like 5 years ago, I spent like all the money I had. I was playing a lot of poker back then. My wife was doing pretty good. We were living in New York, and I took like $17,000, and I'm like, I'm gonna make like a Pee Wee's Big Adventure style kids show, like Pete and Pete with like a music video director aesthetic. It was like a little girl who's a brat, and it was shot in 6K by this like amazing cinematographer Hiroshi. It was like way out of my league. And he was doing it for free just because he was cool. My boy Alan Cordell introduced me, and I got him for so cheap, and he happened to own a 6K camera. And it was the most beautiful, saturated. There's like people doing flips and confetti exploding and like dogs in slow motion. And there's like 6 musical montages in it. I thought it was the most amazing, like it was like a Pete and Pete for girls for Gen Z. And I am still really proud of it. But the thing about that was like, even though it turned out pretty good, in some ways it was great. I think as a pilot it was great because I think it showed what with more money could be even like 1,000 times more crazy. It was sort of a proof of concept. But the thing about kid shows is there's like 3 people in the world who buy kid shows, and they all do their stuff in-house. So there's like literally no market. Like there's no film festivals for kid shows. There's like 4 or 5 in the whole world. And, I entered those, and 3 of them just happened to say no. Who knows why? And like 2 of them aired it, and they weren't that good. I drove to San Diego. I was so excited. It was my first film festival. And I go into this thing, and it was like a rec center, and there was a projector, and the Windows Media thing kept popping up. And there were 4 people in the room. The other guy had flown there from Russia just for this film festival, and he was 100 times more I thought I was disappointed. He's like, I flew here from Russia to sit in like a rec center and watch on a projector with like me. And like I wanted to leave. I stayed for solidarity. I was like, if it had been anything else, I was not into what he did. Respectfully, sir, it just didn't do it for me. Yeah, but then like that. I mean, that took me 2 years of my life to make, and then it's on YouTube, and I've never released it because like I don't know. I guess I could, but what does release it even mean? Click the like set from private to public button on YouTube and just sit back and wait. Like it's meaningless. If anyone wants a copy of it, you're welcome to. But like, because I've been through experiences like that, and I have friends in film, like, even when you love it, you don't know it's going to be good. Like, a million things can go wrong. Like, your actor can just have a bad day. Like, I won't use specific examples from the past, but I've had things go so amazing, and then, a light breaks, or you lose a cartridge, or, like, the footage gets fucked up. Like, shit like that happens all the time. Or it's just not good. Like, you edit it together, and in your head it sounded good, and then somewhere along the line, be it the actors, the script, the editing, something's not clicking and you can't figure it out. And like, that was 6 months of your life making something that just like didn't work out. So when my film finally got accepted I knew this one was good though, because Antoine McKay stars in it, and that guy, he just takes any line and like makes it 100 times better. Like only a great. I hope everyone who writes gets to work with a great actor, because like it feels so easy. You feel like such a genius. Conversely, when you're doing auditions of your own words, it is the most painful fucking experience in the world. I wrote a monologue for this movie, and to be honest, it wasn't the best thing I ever wrote because it was an early draft when we started auditioning. And hearing people who like, a lot of people are good. This isn't a slam on any particular actor, but you get people off like Craigslist level like reads who just like, and hearing your own words read back in the cringiest way possible, you just are like, oh, I'm the worst writer of all time. This is the most garbage script. It is not good. Because I'm also writing like Shakespearean monologues that are hard to do. They're kind of mammety. There's a lot of stops and starts. It's kind of like the voice I'm talking in now, which is very distinctly me and like very difficult for an actor to like just read my, like, you know what I mean? Like I write difficult shit. And maybe it's not difficult. Maybe it's just bad. That's what you're thinking when you're like seeing your auditions. But then Antoine comes and he reads like what like was the like objectively the worst line in the script, like something that was like too wordy, which I fall for, or like too like didn't have a good rhythm. And he just like when he says it, he's just the coolest motherfucker in the world. You're like, damn dog. Like I don't know. It's pretty fucking sad. Like to be completely honest, it's pretty fucking satisfying as like a dorky Midwesterner to have like literally the coolest black dude just be like, yo, like it's like just like being very cool. Like I wish everything I said came out of the mouth of someone 100 times cooler than me. I guess that's what writing is, though, isn't it? But I digress. Yeah, my point is though, but then it's screened at a film festival, screened at Marina Del Rey, and like, I mean, to be honest, when I was editing it, like even though I knew it was funny, like when I shot it, when you edit it, you see it 10,000 times, and I started like focusing on other aspects of it, because like spoiler, there's subtext that's meaningful, like whoa, I'm a genius. It's comedic, but what if like there's a theme? And I get really lost in that, and like to me, it's like, oh, this reminds me of like when I was like sad about some things, and like a girl thing, and like oh, like existentialism, like that's fucked up if you get like too lost in it. So to me, like that's what it had been come in my mind, but then it was like a sold out theater, and like it was like I was the ninth movie in a festival, and the first 8 people were falling asleep. And then suddenly, like the opening music plays, and like within 30 seconds, people were like cheering and like cracking up, and people were like missing jokes because they were laughing too hard. It was like a fucking Borat premiere. Like I was like, and I'd never felt that way. I was like, then when I went up to do the Q&A afterwards, I was like fucking like I was like so goofy, and I was in this like beautiful pink princess dress. I was so beautiful. It was this $150 dress. And it was like maybe it was like a $250 dress. It was the most expensive dress I've ever owned, and it was so beautiful. And I like was in front of everybody, and they were all like, every question was for me. And I think it's because like they like saw that I was like ridiculous. Like people were laughing at how like I was like, she really liked it. Like oh my god, like I was like so geeked out. Like and there was a crazy dude in the audience who kept asking me crazy questions. And like I was like he was like setting me up to be hilarious. Like usually the Q&As are like no one answered like asks a question and then the worst person asks the dumbest question. But like a crazy person just like hitting me with like the stupidest questions in the world that I could like goof around and make fun of. And somebody asked me about April Flores, like why she was in the movie, which is like a fun question to answer. I'm like, because like philosophically, like she believes in like standards of beauty that like I just want to say something about like you know how fat people are like beautiful too, like. I don't know, like stuff like that, and like it was just like people were just setting me up to like, and then and then it aired like a second festival, and it was like just as good, and yeah, like that just felt fucking good. It felt very validating. It felt like I felt a lot more comfortable asking people for more money, because like you have to ask people for money, and like I'm not asking people for money unless like it's fucking killed in front of a couple audiences. Like now I'm like okay, like legitimately every single time it's aired, it went well. There was one night it went okay, but that festival, everybody walked out before mine even screened, and it was like in a comedy club. Anyway, every real festival is absolutely crushed. So, yeah, I guess, I mean, this is sort of a brag post, but like also, I think anyone who's made art and has made a lot of not bad art, but art that like didn't fucking, like that wasn't your dream masterpiece that made all your dreams come true. Like, I think anyone who's made art knows that feeling when you're like, oh, like I fucking made my music video and like, you know, it got 50,000 views, which is good, but like, like anyone who's like done anything that wasn't a huge home run right off the bat, it was just so fucking exciting, and I'm so excited to go forward. And yeah, maybe that was just a long drag, but like, anyway, I'm making videos. I didn't waste your time. I'm cute, but check it out, Gender Free Flag.